Coach, start off with the opening statement, and we'll take questions.
It's been a good camp. We're just excited that the game's here. I think everybody at this time of year is just ready to actually play an opponent and test yourself. Really pleased with the work that the kids have put in over the winter, spring, summer, fall camp. Now we got to dial it in and be ready to play.
Coach, do you have a starting quarterback, and if so, what made him win the job?
Yeah, we're going to start Cam Fancher. All three kids, I don't want to say much more than that. All three kids did an unbelievable job. Cam's gonna run out there, and it's his job to begin the game, begin the season, and we'll go from there.
Scott, will there be an opportunity for other quarterbacks to get in play on Thursday?
I trust all three, so I want good things to happen for all three of them, and if the situation arises, we'll get some other guys in. We might even have a plan for that, but right now it's Cam's job.
Coach, you're at the climactic point of camp, right on the cusp of the season. How game ready do you feel this team is at this point?
Yeah, you get to a point where you practice so much that you need to see what they can do in a game. And there's a saying that's true: you don't rise to the occasion, you fall the level of your training. And I feel like we've trained well, but everything changes once you're out there on the field. And I just want our guys to be ready to attack, play with no fear of failure, and just play hard. You can see around the country there's a lot of mistakes happening, first game mistakes, and just a few games that have already happened. We're going to try to limit those, but understand those are going to happen, and effort usually makes up for a lot of that. So I just want to see our guys come out and play as hard as they can.
What did Cam show you in spring and then carry over into fall camp that helped you make your decision?
Again, I don't want to talk about one guy too much. Cam's done a really good job with just command of the offense, control of everything. He's doing a good job turning broken plays into positive plays. But all three guys have done well, so it's Cam's job right now.
With Cam being made the starter, did that influence any way which wide receivers you're looking to get out there, or what have you seen from the wide receivers leading up to this, and who could we expect to see out there?
No, who it is won't change a lot. Every position had battles, and the receiver group really had to grow. Again, not because we don't have talent there, because just we don't have a lot of game experience and production there. I've seen a tremendous amount of growth from those guys, and I feel like we're deep there. We can play quite a few guys, so I think you'll see a lot of different guys out there Thursday, and they're all going to get their chance to make an impact on the game.
Similar to that, does that change the alignment of the offensive line at all? I know Paul's worked at right tackle last year, and he's spent time at left tackle this year during camp, with Cam being left-handed, and the different blind side. Does that change it at all?
No, we don't want to move Paul just for something like that. So, I do feel like we got guys, including Paul, that can play multiple spots, and if the need arises, he could be on the left or right. But all those position battles were independent of one another, and it would be a crime for me to play somebody in a different spot or a different person because of the outcome of a different position race. So there'll be several spots where multiple people get to play, and we're going to have a rotation. But I think we're settled in pretty well, and we'll probably release the depth chart here in the next couple of days.
You mentioned many times throughout camp that this would be a player-led battle and that the team would also gravitate towards the starter. Did you start to see that towards the end of fall camp?
Really, it was neck and neck right until the very end, and we got to a point we had to make a decision. I think in the probably last 4 or 5 days before we decided. I think Cam probably played the best in those, but that's not taken away from anybody else. I got a ton of confidence in several other guys.
I don't think we asked you since you've been hired, but will you be calling plays on Thursday? And if so, how excited are you to kind of get back into doing that?
Yeah, I'm excited just for the game in general. Steve Cooper's done an unbelievable job when I'm doing head coaching things, running the offense. I've been around him a lot, and he thinks very similar to the way I think, and it'll be a collaboration between the two of us.
Coach, you mentioned the lack of game experience from the wide receiver position. How impactful has Coach Beck been in that role, being obviously not a help to you, not only just a help to you, but to those younger guys as well, just being a UCF guy and being who he is?
Well, I love Sean Beckton. He's like the OG around here. He's Mr. UCF. He does a great job, not just with his position group, but keeping the entire team on track and thinking the right way. He's a great asset to us, and he's had his work cut out for him again, just because of lack of experience in that room and game experience. But the guys know what they're doing. They're in good shape, and they're going to get their opportunity to go make plays.
Coach, I know you're going to be concentrating on game plans and all of that, but how emotional do you think you'll be when you run out on the field Thursday?
I figured somebody would ask me that. I think I'm going to be so mission focused running out there that I won't even stop to look around and reminisce or anything like that. At some point, I probably will, and it'll be great to be back there. But it's time to go to work, and it's time for business when we're running out on the field. And I'll probably be more in tune with who won the coin toss, who's on offense, who's on defense, and our first few plays of offense when we get it.
Also, fellow Orlando and Lee Corso, his last game on game day is a Saturday. Do you have any Lee Corso stories?
No, none that I can share anyway. But Coach has always just been great. There's a fine line when you're in the media to being an entertainer and being loyal to who you are as a football coach. I always appreciated about him that he was good to everybody in our profession because he's been in that profession. So it was less about criticism and more about honest analysis and praise for coaches, and he did it the right way.
You mentioned how throughout the games this past weekend you saw a lot of mistakes, just the nature of it being the first game of the season. Knowing that there's still a lot unknown about this team in a game situation, what do you feel confident about heading into Thursday's game?
I feel confident about a lot. The preparation's been really good. Feel confident about our athletic ability and just how we come together as a team. You're not going to go through any game and not have ups and downs. And so I really want our team to just stay mission focused and keep attacking and trying to make great plays. Whether good things happen or bad things happen, we got to keep the foot on the pedal and keep pushing forward. And I feel good about where we are, but we'll get tested both ways with good things and bad things.
Coach, what's the breakdown on Jacksonville State?
There's a lot of unknown going into this game, probably both ways. I got a lot of respect for Coach Kelly and everywhere he's been. Their coordinators have been in really good spots. Really think that the Coach Trickett does a really good job with their O-line going back. And, we're not 100% sure what they're going to be lined up in and what they're going to be doing. They're probably not 100% sure about what we're doing. We've watched on offense Maryland tape and Auburn tape and Jacksonville State tape, and I'm sure they've watched Nebraska and Oregon and UCF and Boise and the Rams. I don't know. So you go into a game like this, and it's a little harder to scheme somebody else up. Kind of becomes just more line up and do what you do and play ball.
Scott, when you look at this camp, what are you the most proud of this group coming out of this fall camp?
I suppose their willingness to do what we asked them to do. There's been a big difference even going into this game week. We expect the kids not to come out 3 days and 4 days before a game and just walk through plays. Like, we're practicing hard. And it took them a couple series to understand what we wanted. But every time we've had a situation like that where we expect them to do something different than what they're used to, they've been really open to giving everything they have to give us what we want. And that means we've been able to move in the right direction the whole time. And I appreciate the guys' willingness to buy in.
Coach, what players maybe stepped up in leadership positions on this team, and have you made a decision or a vote regarding team captains?
Well, the guys in the back have done a great job. Myles and Nyjalik have both been great. Myles is pretty much clear leader of our offense right now. He's like having another coach on the field. He's demanding of the guys. He expects the standard all the time. It's been great to see. Nyjalik and Kelly Lawson, some other guys on offense. Malachi have done a good job with that on defense too. The leadership is growing, but we definitely got some guys like that are cut out for it and natural leaders.
How have you seen that brotherhood build throughout camp and preparation now for game one?
You know, it's been interesting. I don't think you can really come together until you have some shared experiences, good and bad. And there's been a couple hiccups that we've had, you know, fights on the field, little things like that, some things that challenged our togetherness. And sometimes you have to go through those things. They end up being a positive because guys find a way to come together more after that. You can't manufacture those. Those just have to happen. And those will continue to happen this year as we ride the highs and lows of the season. So I feel good about where we are from a unity standpoint, but we have a ways to go.
You've talked about success being defined by progress and a reliance on the rise and conquer mantra. How do you feel the team is continuing to buy into that even at this point, and do you feel like it's a season-long adjustment, staying patient and making those incremental improvements?
Yeah, I mean, we're a lot better than we were at the beginning of camp, and we started camp a lot better than we were in spring. But we got to keep getting better throughout the season, and that's on the field and off. So we'll keep putting the guys through what we think we need to put them through to continue to improve. And as good as we are in game one, hopefully it's a lot better game 6.
With regards to Jacksonville State, one thing that is known is they're starting Gavin Wimsett at quarterback. I want to know if you knew or what you knew about him, given the fact that you played at Rutgers, and if you knew him as a recruit during your time in Nebraska.
Yeah, I remember watching him as a recruit, and we were interested in him out of Jersey. You know, big, athletic kid, can really spin the ball. He played quite a bit at Rutgers, played a little bit at Kentucky. You know, he's a specimen to watch him run and throw the ball. He's got all the tools. So we're going to have to be on our game. I know he can run it and he can throw it, so the defense has to be sure to be in the right places and the right gaps with the right eyes, and him and others will challenge us.
Coach, I heard recently about how during this season you talk about how what others have been saying about the team and all that type of stuff. And so I know that some people can go on the idea of, you know, keep away from social media or don't really listen to what other people are saying, but how do you kind of take that and use that to help fuel this team forward?
Yeah, I think the days of not reading newspaper articles are over. The kids don't walk 10 feet without looking at their phone anymore. So there's no hiding it anymore. It's better to just address the elephant in the room head on. One thing I appreciate about UCF and always have is there's a little bit of a chip on your shoulder attitude here, and there was when I was here the last time. So I think the kids are embracing the fact that nationally there's not a lot expected of the group, and I think that's been a motivation for them. So they're going to get their chance to take the first step to prove people wrong on Thursday.
Earlier you said you may not have time to reminisce, but just how excited are you to be coaching football again?
Yeah, I love that part of it. You know, the best parts about coaching are impacting young lives and competing, and you get to do both those things in a big way at practice, but especially at games. And we got a pretty special group of guys, you know, and I told them the other day, when I was here last time, there was a group of guys that came together so well that it was life-changing almost for them and what they got to experience together. And I want that for this group too. I want them to have those kind of trials and that kind of success, and you take those kind of experiences with you for the rest of your life. So we're working to build that here again.
Coach, what do you most want to see from Fancher in the season opener?
Well, the first thing you want your quarterback to do is take care of the ball. Jacksonville State has had a lot of success lately, and a lot of it is turnovers. They've done a really good job with turnovers. You watch their tape. They have a lot of returners from the last couple years, and they've done a really good job being aggressive and creating turnovers. So offensively, you know, it's never going to be perfect in game one. We just have to play hard and take care of the ball.
Coach, in a pay-for-play world, do you think there's pressure on coaches to play the guys that they pay the most?
Absolutely. And that's one thing I appreciate about UCF is I don't have a lot of people in my ear and on my back saying, I gave you the money for this guy, why isn't he playing? That allows me to be honest as a coach and honest with the players and play the guys that deserve to play. That's rare, and I really enjoy that about this place. We got good support, but it's not invasive support. And again, then we can be critical thinkers and look at performances and do what's right by the kids by putting the guys on the field that have earned it and deserve it.
Coach, now that spring ball is gone, fall camp has ended, do you feel the difference in the environment, the atmosphere in the locker room? Does it feel like game week? Is there like a excitement, a nervousness, a uncertainty? Like, what's the feeling right now when you in the locker room?
You know, I feel a confidence and I feel a eagerness to get out there from the guys. A couple times this week, you know, you roll right from fall camp right into practice for a game, and you can fall into the habit of just feeling like you're in another fall camp practice. It hasn't happened a lot, but there's been a couple times at practice I felt that way. There's got to be just more urgency when you're getting ready for a game. Like, this play has to be executed perfect so we can get it out on the field and trust it. You know, in fall camp, if you run a bad play once, you just go to the meeting room and fix it the next 6 days. But there's more urgency, and I don't know if I felt enough of that from the team, but what I do feel is an eagerness to get out there and a confidence in where they are and where they're going.
Scott, health-wise, how is the team going into this game?
A lot of credit to our training staff and our strength and conditioning staff. You know, I look at an injury report every week, and we don't have a lot of guys on there. So we're going to be pretty close to full strength. Minus a couple guys. I don't think Caden Peening's going to be ready, and obviously Swint's out for a while. But other than that, I think it's all hands on deck, and I think those guys have done a really good job keeping the guys healthy and training them the right way so that they're building up to peak at the right time.
In between preparing for Jacksonville State, did you get a chance to watch K-State and Iowa State over the weekend? And maybe, if you did, your first thoughts of the Big 12?
Yeah, I was impressed with both teams. Obviously, the conditions kind of affected the game in the first half, but really impressed with both defenses and how hard they played and how well they tackled. They both found a way to make some big plays later in the game, but it was just a good Big 12 game, and probably very representative of the games in this league, that if you play well, you can win, and if you don't, you can lose. Every team in this league could beat you. So our guys got to be ready to go out and perform their best every week.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, Myles, does it feel different this week? You know, just getting ready for a game. I know you've been going through the grind of spring and fall camp, but how excited are you to know that the season's only a few days away now?
Yeah, obviously, it's just natural. Coming closer to the game is always a more heightened sense of urgency, just ready to get out there and play. Got to make sure that doesn't overwhelm us and we go out there and wet the bed, but it's most definitely.
Myles, if you had a chance, I'm sure you had a chance to look at Jacksonville State. What stands out to you about them? They've got a bunch of new players. What have you guys been able to focus on and see from them?
And there's a lot of unknown with both teams, like Coach said. They're really good tacklers from the defensive side. That's really the main thing I worry about as a running back. I want to break tackles. So.
Myles, I mean, at this point, Coach has said that success is defined by progress. What does that mean to you, and how have you seen this team progress now that fall camp's over and you're in game week?
It's kind of part of our saying, rise and conquer, right? As long as you do better than you did yesterday, it's a win in our book here. So.
What are you most excited about for Thursday?
Just get out there, back out there with the guys. It's a new team. I know what they can do. I'm just ready for you guys to see it.
Coach talked about how having you out there is kind of like having another coach out there. I know you talked to a former UCF player turned coach recently on the podcast. So what's it like leading the team out there, and what did you maybe learn from someone like Mackenzie in the way that you do that?
You learn a lot from, especially someone who is just a player. I like the way he carries himself on the field, the way he's coaching. He's not he's not a screaming rah-rah guy. He's just more of like a detailed, you know what I mean, help you out type of dude. Yeah, as far as me being, I guess, an extra coach, I'm just out there making sure all the guys are lined up, making sure there's just upholding the standard, right? Because someone's got to do it. So.
Cam Fancher is going to be the starting quarterback over the course of the month. What's most impressed you about the way he's operated?
I mean, it's like I've ever answered every other quarterback question. There's only so many ways you can throw a 5-yard spot route and hand the ball off, right? So that doesn't concern me.
As viewed as one of the team leaders, have you had words of encouragement for Fancher receiving the starting job, and have spoken with him about that?
I haven't spoken with him about that just yet. Didn't really plan on it, to be honest. Like I said, I don't really concern myself with that. But I'm pretty sure before we run out there, I'll give him a pat on the head, man. Just let him know, man. I'm here for him.
To hear Coach Frost basically say that you're the leader right now and for the offense, what does that mean for you, especially heading into this season in the first game?
It means a lot. I put a lot into this. Some days I go off the field, I'm crying because some days I just felt like we didn't get it done, holding up standard. But you know what I mean? That just comes with being a leader. I love the role. You know what I mean? I embrace it. I love it. It's what I've worked for. It's what I asked for, so I can't complain about it.
Myles, as one of the leaders of the team and obviously the leader of the offense, what are some of the team goals that you guys may have and some personal goals that you may have for yourself heading into your last season of college football?
Me, personally, I don't set personal goals because I don't like losing and I don't like not achieving goals, so that kind of makes me mad, so I don't really do that. But to answer your first part of the question, you asked what was it,
some
success?
team goals you may have, maybe
Yeah.
conference championship, something like that. Like, what have you guys discussed amongst yourselves, like what some goals that you guys can accomplish as a team?
Really just be better than you did before, the day before, like our Rise and Conquer thing. Like I said, that's just about what I guess you could say winning looks like for us. It's what success looks like for us, just being better than what you were the day before.
Myles, you look at this team. What has stood out to you? What's impressed you the most about what this team has done in fall camp as you guys get ready to start the season?
Really our growth. We've grown a lot from the first day we went out there for spring ball until now. Again, I'm going to keep saying it, be better than you were the day before. And I love that about us because not too many times we make the same mistakes. And that's just, I guess you could say, just looking in towards the future about what a good football team is going to look like, just not making the same mistakes over and over. I'm really proud of the guys for that.
You mentioned being excited to kind of show us what you guys are and who this team is on Thursday. What are you most confident about this team being able to accomplish or being able to show in that game Thursday, having been in practices that we haven't seen?
You're going to see a lot of effort on the field. We really pride ourselves on running to the football. We pride ourselves, again, not making the same mistakes and just being better than you were before. So you're going to see a lot of that.
How have you been challenged by Coach Beal?
Coach Beal challenges us a lot, mentally, physically, emotionally. He just wants to get the best out of us, so can't complain about that one.
And how have you seen this running back room step up now with Tavion out and some other guys with an opportunity here maybe to get some reps?
Yeah, like I said before, all the freshmen are pretty good players, better than I ever was as a freshman. So, just next man up. That's just how it is in football, right? Unfortunate event. I already know he's going to come back stronger than ever. So,
Myles, what does it mean to you for a guy who's put in the time over multiple years, and now you're entering the season as a starting running back? I mean, this is something you've worked your entire career for. So how excited are you about this opportunity coming up?
I'm really excited. But just like I said to the first question, you can't let that overwhelm you and wet the bed, right? That all means nothing. You come out there and just don't play to the best of your ability. So I just kind of got to keep a level head right now.
You've mentioned in the past that you're excited about the opportunity to be kind of a lead a workload and be the guy back there. Have you done anything to change your approach or your physically or mentally in getting ready over the last month? Has there been anything different about this particular fall camp?
No. As athletes, we're creatures of habit. Changing something like that is just not really a good idea. So nothing's really changed.
Myles, Coach Frost was talking about how good a job Coach Cooper has done. From an X's and O's standpoint and just as a culture guy, what have you gained from him as an offensive coordinator, and what can you say about him?
I've learned a lot from him. He's a guy who's big on not running plays the way you kind of see him on the paper. It's not always going to work out like that. So he's a big football IQ type of guy, and being able to just be a football player and roll with the punches on the fly. So I really like that about him. He's really detailed.
Myles, how fueled are you guys by the naysayers who don't think UCF's going to be very good this year?
You heard Coach say we got a chip on our shoulder. It's kind of a good thing that no one expects anything out of us, right? It can't get any worse. Now we're just ready to go out there and just show everyone what we have.
Myles, what have you seen out of Jaden through this last bit of camp, and obviously you still hanging out with him, of course, hosting the podcast as well. What do you think we can see from him this season, and how excited is he for this season?
Everything you've seen already on videos, you're going to see it again on Thursday, and Saturday is beyond. Jaden's a really good player, and I can't wait. Again, that's another guy. I cannot wait for you guys to see it in person. You've already seen it on videos, but seeing it in person is crazy.
All set? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Nyjalik, kind of same question for you. How excited are you to know that, after all the work you've put in over the past year, to know that the season is almost here? How excited are you for this?
Very excited. We've been practicing, training with each other for 8 months, getting to know new players, new coaches. So I'm excited to show everybody what we built together here.
Nyjalik, if you have a chance to look at Jacksonville State and again, bunch of new players, what have you seen that maybe stands out about that team?
They got a quick quarterback, quick running back. Running back came from TCU. Quarterback, I actually had to watch him when I had a bowl game 2 years ago at Miami, so I already know a little bit about him. So they just stand out to me.
A lot of members of the defense characterize themselves as fast, aggressive, athletic players. How do you feel that the balance between that and having a good football IQ has gone for you guys now that you're in game week?
I feel like the coaching staff do a good job with preparing us mentally, showing us what got to be in, where to line up. So it make us play faster and more aggressive. So I feel like the coach is helping us with that.
How have you improved throughout this camp?
I improved with my feet, my steps, my get off, my hand placements. I give praise to Coach Dawson for actually sitting there and keying the little things for me so it can help progress my game.
You notice a big change from you in spring to fall?
Of course. I noticed my arms getting bigger, my body getting bigger, and maintaining that speed still.
Nyjalik, you have a former Big 12 quarterback on your other side there with Jacksonville State. I don't know how much scouting you've been able to do, but what's the biggest thing you guys want to do when you line up there against Jacksonville State?
Attack the line of scrimmage, play on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and sack the quarterback.
A lot of people have been high on this defense over the last couple months. How excited are you guys to go prove those people right and show that UCF's defense is for real this season?
I mean, I'm glad that people are praising our defense, but we just stay in house and we just ready to play. We ready to show all 11, 15 guys that are ready to play and ready to get after the quarterback, after wherever the ball at, we're ready to attack it.
What are we going to see on Thursday night from that D-line?
You're going to see us in the backfield. That's all I can tell you. You're going to see us on the other line of the scrimmage having a party, whatever four out there.
What were you most impressed with this team coming out of fall camp?
I'm more impressed with the adversity Coach had put in front of us and us being able to overcome it, whether it's us having to wake up early and practicing in the heat or us having to come out later and practicing an abnormal practice. Just us overcoming whatever Coach Frost had put in front of us that was adverse.
Nyjalik, second year here, what is the biggest difference you feel from yourself and just kind of the culture of the team from last year to this year, now heading into week one of the new season?
I don't really like to harp on last year's team. That was last year. But I feel like this year's team, it's more of a brotherhood. Like, I can talk to Myles, I can talk to Preston, I can talk to Paul, rather than just having to talk to people, like just being clicked up with the D-line. I can talk to anybody on the other side of the ball, and it's still the same brotherhood. We can hit each other in practice, brawl, and then come out to practice, hug it out, laugh, and act like nothing even happened. So the brotherhood definitely with this team.
You said get in the backfield no matter who's out there. How would you describe the depth across the defense?
I feel like we have an excellent depth. It don't matter if I'm out there or if I'm on the sideline, you're going to see the same intensity. It don't matter if it's me or Mally or Zay and Sin. It really doesn't matter. It don't matter if it's John. It really don't matter. I feel like whoever the coaches put out there, they're going to give the same intensity.
That first week, there's a little bit of the unknown, just playing that first game with a new team, especially with this group having so many new faces. What are you confident that you guys will be able to kind of hit the ground running with on Thursday?
I feel like it's only unknown for like the people that ain't on the field with us. I feel like I know that we're gonna be out there and we're gonna attack with every force that we have. So the only unknown is the media and the people that's not really in house.
John Walker a couple weeks ago mentioned the linebacker, specifically Lewis Carter, as a kind of an impact player for you. So what have you noticed about that group in particular in run support and helping you guys?
Oh, our linebackers are great. If it's a gap that need to be filled, Kelly Lawson coming, Lou coming. So we have a great linebacker depth. So the linebackers I feel like they're going to be good this year.
Nigel, what does it mean for the trust that Coach Frost has put in you? And obviously he's noticed really positive things. He calls you one of the leaders on defense. You're one of the main guys. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you to have the coaches look at you to be in that position?
I mean, I'm blessed with the abilities that God gave me to be able to be looked up by younger people or people that's my age or even older to look up to me to want to do, like, to watch what I do. So, you know, now that I have to lead or now that I'm considered a leader, like, I have to watch, like, what I do. So, like, it's a blessing. Like, I love being a leader. It helped me keep me on my toes.
And how excited are you personally for what you can accomplish this season? You had a great first season at UCF last year. You're older, stronger, more experienced. Are you looking forward? What kind of season do you expect?
Amazing season. That's all I could tell you. I'm ready. You know, Paul helped me. Preston helped me. Them two guys helped me progress my game. So I'm ready to actually do my moves on other offensive linemen.
Bounce house Thursday. What do you want to see from the students and the fans?
The same thing I see every week. Them jumping, us walking through that tunnel and about to get hit in the head with the thing. So I'm just looking forward to the fans and the community screaming loud for us and us showing up for them.
You talked about being able to interact with multiple position groups. Paul echoed the same sentiment. How important is that just to have one unit, and what does that speak to the strength of the culture of the team?
I feel like as a team in this day and what's going on now with the NIL and stuff, it's harder to, like, become a team because it'll get clicked up. This person making more money than this person, but we don't even care who makes this amount, who does this, who makes more tackles, who throws the ball the best. Everybody's the same. Everybody on the same level. Everybody still together. It doesn't matter about how the next person plays. We see through that.
Coach mentioned Kelly Lawson earlier as also part of that leadership group that's been forming. How has it been like seeing this leadership group form with you, Myles, Kelly, anybody else maybe that we haven't mentioned yet?
Well, Kelly just got here, and it's a blessing that your middle linebacker just coming from another school, everybody trusting him and his leadership to be able to listen to him because, you know, another person coming from another school and with talking and telling people what to do, that can cause back and forth between people, but nobody really cared, kept our head down, listened to him, and whatever our middle linebacker say, we do. So I'm happy that Coach chose said us three or us four was the leaders because I feel like everybody on the team listens. It don't really matter who talks. It could be a freshman that talks. Everybody gonna listen because of how tight everybody is.
Nyjalik, as the clock counts down to game day, is it excitement, nervousness, a little bit anxiety, or a mixture of all of them?
Nah, when I was a freshman, I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie, but now it's like second nature now. You just can't wait to play the game. So I'm very excited to play and snap the ball.
When did you feel ready to play? Well, how long ago were you ready to get back on the field?
Shoot, the last game, you feel me? You got to wait 8 months to snap a ball again. You get tired of playing each other from spring and get tired of playing each other in fall camp. You just want to hit another color, strike another color. You get tired of going against Paul. You know, he's 6'10". You get tired of going against that. So you want to go against another offensive lineman and show what you can do in front of, like, fans. It's nothing like a game day atmosphere. So get it.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.